I really don't understand this.
It's the worst. This is the worst. You know what you're doing? You don't know what you're doing?
No.
Okay, class, today we're going to learn about the Mayan numerals. The system was one of the first systems to use a symbol for 0 as a placeholder. It has 3 symbols, so the dot represents the 1, the horizontal bar represents the 5, and the conch shell represents the 0. And there it shows you like the numbers like 0 through 19. Okay, so another important part of the Mayan numeration system is the use of the numbers 18 and 20 in determining the place values, and they're not all powers of 20. Does anybody want to come up and show the class how to do the example problem?
Ooh, me.
Okay, Brett, I choose you to come up and show them. So that's a problem for me.
All right, go.
All right. So we're going to be doing an example problem. So I guess with my numerals, you want to read from top to bottom. So we'll read from the top here first. So we got 3 dots. So that'll be a 3. And then this is that eye looking thing. So that'll be a 0. And then here we got 4 dots and 2 lines. And since lines equal 5 and dots equal 1, we're going to have 4. And then this will be 9, 14. 14. And then here we got another line that has 5. And then 4 dots, so we'll have 9 here. And so then with my numerals, we have to use the base system to multiply out to be able to get the full number. So when we look at here, we're going to multiply this times 20 base 0. Which is going to be equal, it's going to be the same as multiplying it times 1. Here, we're going to multiply it by 20 base 1, which is going to be the same as multiplying it by 20. Here, this is where things start to get a little weird because our base system changes. We have 18s in here now. So this is going to be the same as 18 times base 20 to the first, which is going to be equal to 0 because we're multiplying by 0 here. And then here we got 3 dots. This one gets a little bit tougher also. It's another 18. 20 to the second, which I don't want to have to multiply this out. So when we look at the table, we're seeing that that is going to be equal to 7,200. Perfect. And so then what we're going to end up having to do is just add these all together. So when you multiply this out, here I got it over here, I'm going to look real quick. 21, 600 is going to be equal to 0. It's going to be equal to 280. And this is equal to 9. And when we add all these things up, we are going to get 21. Boom. Any questions?
Okay, good job, Brett. Let's check if his answers were right. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Does anybody have any more questions after the first practice problem?
I think I'm still a little confused. Do you have another example problem?
Yes, we can show one more example problem. Brett, do you want to come back up one more time and show the class?
Oh, I would love to.
Okay.
All right, so we'll be doing a second example problem here. Here we'll be going from a regular number back to Mayan numerals. And so the way we'll end up doing this is we're gonna have to divide this by these groupings that we were given. And as we see, 57,000, much less than that 144,000. So we're gonna end up using that 7,200 as our number here. So I'm gonna write this out like this. So dividing that into it. Usually you're gonna use a calculator for this step. I kind of already have it written down, that way we can save some time. So it's gonna go in 7 times, and it looks like that will end up being 50,400 here. And so once you start, you're just gonna subtract this long division. We should all know how to do this at this point. And so then 7,000, you can do a little quick check, just make sure this is less than this. That way you know you're using the right numbers. But we're just gonna keep it pushing then. So then our new number is gonna be 7,085, in which we are gonna do another long division, which we use the next number up, which is gonna be 360. And so that 360 is going to go into that 7,000, looks like 19 times. And so then 19 times 360 is going to be 6,840. And again, you'll be using the year calculators for this, but just, quick little math here. This looks like that might be 245. And so then we'll again just keep pushing. Our next number off will be 20. So then kind of going all over the place, but we'll put this 245 right here. Get this 20 into it. 20 goes into 245, 12 times, which is going to be 240. So we're left with 5 left, and then all we're left is a 1, which obviously goes in 5 times. And so then we'll end up having to set this up kind of vertical, like how it was in the last problem. So we're off 7, 19, 12, and 5. And it's kind of in the order that you worked your way down. And so then really the hardest step here now is just converting it back to the numerals. So a 7, we know 5 is a line, so we'll do a line, 2 dots. 19, that's probably the biggest number we'll work with, but we'll have 4 dots and then 3 lines. 12 will be 2 dots, 2 lines, and we got 1 line for the 5. And so then that should end up being your final answer for the Mayan numerals. Any other questions?
Thank you, Brett, for showing the second example problem. Let's check his answers to make sure he's right. And yep, that looks right. Does anybody have any more questions? Do you understand the Mayan numerals now?
Thank you, Brett.
Okay, we're done with our lesson of Mayan numerals today.